Even though this is the end of the 1990 season, the Winston Final sees the debut of a brand new racing team in Top Fuel, headed by veteran driver Ray Stutz. Now, the beautiful orange car certainly looks competitive, and Ray we know to be a top-notch driver. But the real story of this car is the name emblazoned on the side, California Rattler. As you'll see, that name is very appropriate.
When Ray Stutz was a little boy, he liked two things: racing midget cars and collecting snakes. Well, now that Ray's grown, a few things have changed. He switched from midget cars to Top Fuelers, and his snake collecting hobby has become a part-time business.
Yeah, we're trying to stick with the name of California Rattler. It seems to be a name that kind of stuck with me just because of my snake business.
Ray is no stranger to the drag racing circuit, driving the original California Rattler in the mid-'80s. Now that he's back on the track and raising snakes for profit, the name on the car seems to suit him.
This is a Honduran milk snake, tangerine phase, and he's from South America. And a snake like this probably worth about $500. And of course, all of these snakes that we have are non-poisonous. There's really no reason to keep rattlesnakes. I know of a few people that do keep them, but it's a pretty dangerous thing to keep around because they can hurt you.
At one time, nearly 70 snakes filled the spare bedroom at the Stutz house. But when their third baby arrived, the snakes moved out of the nursery and into the garage.
This is how we house all these critters. These are sweater boxes, and most of them stay small enough to where you can keep them in here. Some of them get a little bit bigger where we have to move to the bigger aquariums, like this guy. And these are all the different species that I breed here.
Part of the business of breeding snakes is feeding snakes, and their main meal is mice. So in order to feed them economically, Ray breeds the mice as well.
The mice that we produce here, they have about anywhere between 15 to 20 babies at a time every 23 days, so they're really easy to produce. A mouse in a pet shop runs about $1 a piece, and you can produce them for about $0.05 a piece. We feed them about once a week, and they'll usually take down one to three mice a piece, and they're a very low maintenance animal. They don't bark, they don't make any noise, and very low maintenance pet.
The price range on these baby snakes is anywhere from $100 to $325 a piece, and Ray sells them to pet shops or to other collectors.
And some of the money that we get from these snakes goes towards the race car. It's not very much because obviously the race car takes a lot more than what these snakes can produce, but it helps.
When he's not racing or tending to his snakes, Ray works full-time as a firefighter in West Covina, California. The work schedule allows him time to go racing, and Ray often finds himself top man on the job.
This is a Seagrave 100-foot aerial ladder truck. Our main objective is for ventilation. And we get to the fire, and we ladder the building, and we cut a hole open up in the roof so we can get the hot gases and smoke out of the building. So it's really a critical part of firefighting. I'm not afraid of heights, I'm just afraid of falling.
To some, Ray Stutz may appear to be a daredevil with a lifestyle that includes exotic snakes, Top Fuel dragsters, flaming buildings, and 100-foot ladders. But for the California Rattler, it's all in a day's work.
Ray Stutz's return to racing is being helped in a big way by Larry Minor. You know, I was thinking, now that Don Prudhomme races in Top Fuel, Ray is going to have to learn how to handle snakes on the drag strip. Well, that wraps up this edition of NHRA Today, but you have my word on it. We will be back next week with more drag racing stories, including the final results of the Winston Championships. For Dave McClellan, Don Garlitz, and Bob Fry, I'm Steve Evans. Thank you for joining us on TNN.
NHRA Today has been brought